Hello, and thank you all again for tuning in to Obscure Jewels, where I am your host, as well as your narrator, Crayola Coaster. And today, we'll be reading from Big Bird Can Share by Dina, Anastasio, illustrated by Leigh. So, as always, if you have a copy, please grab your copy, and let's read together. One day, I woke up very early. I rubbed my eyes, stretched, and looked out of my nest. There, on my mailbox, were a brand new pail and shovel. The pail was bright blue, and it had a big red bow around it. The shovel was red. I looked at the tag tied on the handle. It said, "Dear Big Bird, I think you'll know what to do with this. Love, Granny Bird." Gee, I wonder what Granny Bird means, I thought. I walked down Sesame Street, hugging my new pail and shovel to my feathers. I never had a pail and shovel before.
"Hey, Turkey,"
called Oscar the Grouch from his can.
"what are you going to do with that pail and shovel?"
"Oh, hi, Oscar," I said. "Well,
Slimy and I could use them to dig for worms,"
Oscar said.
"How about it?"
No, Dad.
But I didn't want to share my new pail and shovel with Oscar and Slimy. And I really wasn't sure I wanted any worms in it.
Disgusting.
"Gee, Oscar, not now.
No,
Sorry."
they do.
And I walked away fast. I almost bumped into Ernie and Bert. "Hello, Big Bird," said Bert. "Look at all the bottle caps we found for my collection." "Those sure are nice bottle caps," I said. "And that sure is a nice pail and shovel," said Ernie. "Could we borrow your pail to carry the rest of the bottle caps?" Well, Figgy Fizz bottle caps were a lot better than worms.
Disgusting.
But I still wasn't so sure about it. What if the bottle caps scratched my pail so it wasn't pretty anymore? What if Ernie and Bert forgot to give me my shovel back? I hesitated. I didn't want to share my new pail and shovel with Ernie and Bert.
"Never mind,"
Said Bert.
"I'll bet you're going to make a sand castle in the sandbox. We'll come to see it later."
I walked through the park to the playground sandbox. How do you make a sand castle? I wondered. I had seen people make sand castles, but I had never done it before myself. I sat down in the sandbox. I scooped sand into my pail with the shovel and then poured out the sand into 3 piles. I wondered if this is what Granny Bird meant. I thought, but somehow I didn't think it was what Granny Bird meant. After a little while, Grover came along. "Hello, Big Bird," Grover said to me. "I could not help but notice that you are trying to build a cute and wonderful sandcastle." Grover sat down in the sandbox.
"If you put water on it, the sand will stick together.
Oh my
Let me
gosh.
take your adorable little pail and fill it with water from the fountain."
"Well," I said. Betty Lou stepped into the sandbox. "Would you like to share my watering can, Big Bird?" she asked. "You can use it to sprinkle the sand with water. Then we can use your pail to make towers." "Oh, thanks, Betty Lou," I said. "I guess you can share my pail." I took a watering can and handed her my pail. If Betty Lou could share her watering can with me, it seemed as though I had to share my new pail with her. It was hard, though. It was hard to let go of that handle. I sprinkled the sand with water, and Betty Lou showed me how to use my pail to make sand shapes. She packed wet sand into the pail and turned it upside down. Then she carefully lifted the pail off the sand. "Oh, Betty Lou," I said. "That's great!" Now it was really starting to look like a sandcastle instead of just bumps. "Oh, I am so excited!" cried Grover. "Building in the sand is fun!" "Hey, everybody!" I called to my friends. "Come and look at the neat sandcastle we're making with my new pail and shovel."
"Hey, Big Bird, we want to share work on sandcastle,"
called the familiar voice.
Cookie.
It was Cookie Monster coming over with Prairie Dawn to help.
"This castle needs more delicious towers,"
Cookie.
cried Cookie Monster. "This fort needs windows and doors," said Prairie Dawn. "Let us make a tunnel between our castles," Grover said to me. Other friends came to help build the sand city. "This castle needs a moat," said Betty Lou, and she began to dig.
"And a bridge to go over it,"
said Harry Monster. Ernie and Bert came over to see what everyone was doing. Look at the neat sand city, Ernie, said Bert.
Right, Bert,
said Ernie.
but I think it needs some special decorations, don't you? I think it could look a lot fancier. What do you think, Big Bert?
Sure, I said. The fancier, the better.
Good idea, Ernie.
Bert answered.
How about some shiny figgy fizz bottle caps on the turrets?
I couldn't believe that Bert would share his Figgy Fizz bottle cap collections, but he did. When all the castles and forts and bridges and roads were finished, everyone stood back and admired the magnificent Sand City. Gee, everybody, I cried. Our Sand City is so beautiful. Honk, 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 honked the honkers.
Thank you for sharing your pail and shovel with us, Big Bird,
said Harry Monster and the others. I smiled. This what Granny Bird meant. The end. And that was Big Bird Can Share by Dina Anastasio. Illustrated by Tom Leigh. So as always, thank you all for tuning in, for liking, subscribing, sharing, interacting, all the above. And until next episode, keep reading. Thank you.